She purposely opens her shirt in front of him, which makes the teenager feels weird at first, but he cannot control himself and stares at it. The main character in the movie is a young boy named Jason who's in high school. He's famous on the internet for his music. In one of his online videos, he tells his fans that he's going to a new school called St. Adeline's, a Catholic school in Southern California. He ends the video by singing a beautiful song. In the next part of the movie, we see a woman we don't know who kills someone, hides the body in a car, and pretends to be a nun. At the same time, Jason and his sister Zoe, along with their parents, arrive at the new school. The headmistress, Sister Rebecca, greets them and tells them the school rules. Sister Rebecca also introduces Zoe to her roommate, Sarah. It looks like Sarah has a crush on Jason because he's charming and popular on the internet. Later on, the headmistress welcomes a new teacher, a nun from Montana named Sister Sophia White. While they're showing Sister Sophia around, the two nuns run into Jason in the school playground. Surprisingly, Sister Sophia thinks he's good-looking and seems interested in him. We also find out that she's the same woman who committed the murder earlier. Her real name is Laura, but she seems to have taken on Sister Sophia's identity. Later that night, the young, pretty, and mysterious nun sits on her bed and watches a music video by Jason. Surprisingly, she even kisses the screen where he appears. This action might seem strange for a nun, and it's clear she has feelings for the young musician. The next morning, Sister Sophia begins her first day at school. When she sees Jason and Sarah flirting with each other in class, she becomes annoyed and jealous. So, she moves Sarah to the front desk, which annoys Sarah. Later, Sophia gets ready to start teaching, but Zoe reminds her about the morning prayer they always do before class. Nervously, Sophia tells the class to begin the prayer, but she can't say a single word herself. After class, Zoe talks to Jason and shares her suspicion about the new teacher. Jason dismisses her concerns and walks away. He then runs into Sophia and apologizes for his behavior in class earlier. Out of nowhere, the nun asks if he and Sarah are a couple, but Jason denies it. The next day, Sophia catches Jason and Sarah kissing, which makes her very angry. She tells Jason to leave and warns Sarah that she might suspend her. However, Sarah reminds the nun that she can't do anything to her because her dad donates money to the school. Sarah confidently walks away, leaving Sophia upset. After class, Sophia asks Jason to stay back, and Zoe finds this odd. She's noticed that the new teacher seems quite interested in her brother. When they're alone, Sophia talks to Jason about what happened the other day and asks why he lied about his relationship with Sarah. Jason doesn't say anything, but Sophia tells him to meet her in her room to discuss it further. Jason is unsure because students aren't supposed to go into the teacher's area, but Sophia threatens to tell the school board if he doesn't do what she asks. So Jason, who doesn't fully understand the situation, has no choice but to agree. Later, when Jason comes to Sophia's room and is just about to knock on the door, she shockingly begins to take her clothes off for him to see. A frightened and puzzled Jason looks through a partially open door, feeling uneasy as he observes everything happening. Later, the movie shifts to the weekend, when the students are preparing to leave. In the parking lot, Sophia becomes very angry and jealous when she sees Sarah and Jason hugging. The headmistress interrupts her to discuss schoolwork, but Sophia tells her that she's also leaving for the weekend to visit her sick aunt. When Jason gets home, he has a strong and emotional meeting with his dad. During their talk, it becomes clear that his dad doesn't support Jason's choice to pursue a music career. Instead, he wants his son to be more like his overachieving sister, Zoe. They argue heatedly, and Jason decides to skip dinner and go to the pool to be alone. What Jason doesn't know is that the obsessed Sophia has followed him to his house and is strangely watching him play the guitar by the pool. On Monday night, when the students return to school, Sophia sneaks into Zoe and Sarah's dorm room. At the same time, the headmistress, Rebecca, notices her and starts to follow her. Sophia enters the girls' room and puts marijuana in Sarah's textbook, hoping to get her in trouble and possibly suspended. After she finishes her plan, Sophia returns to her own room but is stopped by the headmistress on her way. When asked why she was in the girls' dormitory so late, Sophia lies, saying she was checking the security. The headmistress walks away, but she still feels suspicious. The next day in class, Sophia's mean plan succeeds when she tells the students to open their textbooks to a certain page. Sarah is surprised to find marijuana in her book, and Sophia quickly takes it and tells the headmistress. So, poor Sarah gets suspended from school. But the wicked nun isn't finished with her schemes. She has the school's security search everyone's rooms. Not surprisingly, they find a bottle of alcohol in Jason's room, the same bottle Sophia had been drinking from in her car the other night. It turns out that Sophia put the bottle in Jason's room to make him do community service as punishment, giving her a reason to get closer to him. When they find the alcohol, Sophia acts like she feels sorry for Jason and begs in front of the headmistress and the school board not to suspend him. Instead, she suggests he should stay over the weekend and do community service. The headmistress is a little unsure about the idea, but after thinking about it, she agrees. In the next part, Sophia's plan succeeds when she lures Jason while he's busy working in the school garden. She purposely opens her shirt in front of him, which makes the teenager feels weird at first, but he cannot control himself and stares at it. That night, Jason finally falls into her plan and she finally gets what she wants with him in his room. Additionally, she records the act with her mobile phone. The next morning, Jason appears understandably anxious and guilty. Therefore, he leaves the dormitory to take a walk and get some fresh air. At the same time, Zoe goes to his room looking for her brother. She's surprised when she finds Sophia smelling Jason's clothes. When Zoe confronts the obsessed nun, Sophia threatens to report her for being in the boys' dormitory. Zoe reluctantly leaves and goes to Jason, asking him what's happening, but he doesn't share any information and acts as if everything is okay. At the same time, Laura sees Zoe as a problem and comes up with a plan to deal with her. After their class, she asks Zoe to stay behind and shows her test results, indicating that she failed. Zoe can't believe it because she's usually a smart student. Laura pretends to care about Zoe and offers her a second chance, suggesting she stays after school for a makeup test. She purposely leaves the answer key on the desk. Zoe follows the instructions, arrives for the makeup test, and notices the answer key. While she's looking at it, Laura suddenly enters the room and tells Sister Rebecca that Zoe is cheating. However, Sister Rebecca, the headmistress, has a hard time believing this because Zoe is usually one of the best students. Later, a bishop visits the school, and the headmistress welcomes him. During their conversation, the bishop asks if Sister Sophia is adjusting well to the new school. He describes her as a very positive and cheerful person, which surprises the headmistress because the Sophia she knows is quite different from what the bishop has described. During the next weekend, Sarah invites Jason to a party at her house and asks him to bring his guitar. At dinner, Jason asks his parents if he can go to the party, but the conversation turns into an argument about his future. Nevertheless, Jason goes to Sarah's party without realizing that Sophia is secretly following him. At the party, Sarah approaches him and tries to kiss him, but he's preoccupied with his own problems, so he leaves abruptly without explaining. Jason then grabs a bottle of beer and leaves the party, with Sarah following him. However, she's surprised to find that her car has been damaged, likely the work of Sophia seeking revenge. In the next part, Jason almost gets into trouble with the police. Fortunately, Sophia arrives at the right moment to resolve the situation. Afterward, Jason tells her he's too drunk to go home safely, giving Sophia the perfect opportunity to take him to her apartment. Once they're at her place, the unstable nun starts having unreasonable thoughts and suggests to Jason that they should leave the country together. Luckily, he sobers up quickly and leaves the place. The next morning, as Zoe and Jason are getting ready for school, Zoe notices a strange car driving by their house. She later finds out that the car belongs to Sophia. Later, when Jason returns to his dorm room, he's shocked to find Sophia unconscious on his bed. He also sees a bottle of pills on the table and assumes the worst. Terrified, he quickly tries to revive her using CPR, hoping to wake her up. That's when the paranoid nun suddenly wakes up and kisses him. She then confesses that she faked her death to see if he cared about her. Annoyed, Jason threatens to report her to the school board, but she retaliates by revealing that she has a video of their intimate encounter. This leaves Jason in a state of complete shock. The next day, Sarah comes back to school, which makes Sophia very angry. Feeling threatened, she sneaks into Sarah's room and finds her in the shower. She forcefully pushes Sarah's head against the wall, causing her to die instantly, but making it look like an accident. A while later, Zoe discovers her roommate's lifeless body in the shower and is terrified. The following day, she talks to Jason and asks about his relationship with Laura. At first, he's unsure, but when Zoe keeps asking, he eventually tells her everything, leaving her shocked. Zoe starts to believe that Laura isn't a real nun because of her unusual behavior. So, they decide to secretly go into Laura's room to search for proof. In Laura's room, they find her laptop, which has many pictures of Jason, and they learn that her real name is Laura. Meanwhile, the headmistress discovers that Sophia has been lying about her sick aunt. She gets angry and threatens to report it to the father of the school. However, before she can say more, Sophia knocks her unconscious with a lamp. After a while, the siblings reach Sister Rebecca's cabin but can't find her. They realize something bad must have happened to her, so they hurry to the church. Soon, Laura also shows up there and sees Jason holding her laptop. She insists he goes with her, but Zoe tells her to leave him alone. This makes Laura angry, and she knocks Zoe unconscious. Then, she tries to harm Jason, but just in time, Rebecca arrives and stops her. Laura, filled with anger, starts choking Rebecca, but Jason takes advantage of the distraction and stabs her from behind, finally ending her life. In the last scene of the movie, the siblings graduate from high school. Despite everything they've been through, they are now looking forward to living their lives to the fullest again. Did you like the movie? Don't forget to like and smash that subscribe button to stay updated for more movie recap videos. Thank you for watching. See you at the next one.